Yo, what's good, YouTube? I'm back with another reaction video, and we're here with this part two of the Celtics 86 Inside the Green Machine. Bring back the part two, man. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to get back into it. Yeah, man, let's get straight into the video. Keep it short and sweet. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button, and let's get it, man. I truly appreciate y'all. Truly appreciate y'all, man. But yeah, let's get straight back into it. Part two, man.
Bird made it, heard it, and played it, well stated. Birdland, get up and down in Birdland. Everybody heard that word, and they named it after bird, where the rhythm swoop and swirl, the jazz corner of the world, and the cats they dig in there were beyond compare. Birdland, I'm singing Birdland. Birdland, I'm swinging Birdland. Bird would cook, gnats would look, where down in Birdland.
I know that everything bubbles right high. Hello. Goodbye. Well, those cats remember their first Birdland gig. To play in Birdland is an honor we still sing. They come with like in a so cheering up. Yeah, baby. All of the cats were cooking on beef to the side. They were steady looking on. Then Bird, he came and spread the word.
That much. What they do really counts in French lick. So it's rare that Larry Bird will sit down and talk much about himself. But he did so recently with SportsCenter 5's Mike Dowling.
For the Boston Celtics, at forward from Indiana State, 6'9", number 33, Larry Bird.
Well, like any other basketball-playing youngster, Larry Bird dreamed of a career in the NBA.
In fact, Bird never thought he could actually play in the NBA until his senior year in college. But now, on the verge of winning his third straight MVP award, well, this is all little beyond belief.
I don't think anybody in the right frame of mind, if they just be honest with themselves, think that they're going to go in the NBA and play basketball. I really didn't think about pro basketball until my senior year. You know, I didn't know what to expect. When I first came to Boston, they had a couple bad years there, and it was sort of rebuilding time. They came in with a new coach, and I didn't know what to expect. All I wanted to do is go out and play every game and play hard and see what happened. My relationship with Red has been, I know what he's thinking, he knows what I'm thinking, so we get along pretty good. I started off my first couple of years still trying to learn the game and learn the city of Boston and see how people react to me and how I was going to react to them. So I think the adjustments come pretty quick, and I'm very happy with the way things turned out in Boston because it's been very easy. All I do is show up, play basketball, and things have been going well on the court, and so everything else takes care of itself.
I know you said you stopped your subscriptions to the local newspapers, but you know, every time you pick up a magazine, there's an article on Larry Bird. The one Sports Illustrated comes to mind. It says living legend. And what can you think when you read an article like that?
Well, they're all the same. You know, basically, if you win a game, somebody's going to be the hero, and somebody loses, somebody's going to be the GOAT. So I really don't buy the papers to read articles about the team because I know exactly what goes on within the team. I know the ins and outs, and some of the reporters think they do, but they really don't. You know, it's a lot of fun sometimes to read the articles and just see what different opinions that people have. But as far as here in Boston, I know exactly what my team is thinking and what they're trying to do, and we get along pretty well, and we try to cover up for each other. So it's been basically pretty easy for everyone.
Do you think the media's treated you pretty fair?
Very fair. I think the media's did a fantastic job with the way that I've conducted myself, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but you know, I make mistakes just like everyone else.
How much longer could you see yourself playing, or would you like to play?
Well, if I, you know, have security, which I think I do have, you know, I can finish this contract out and maybe say goodbye. But you never know what's going to happen. I changed my views every year, and I mature a little bit more, and I can't see myself hanging around for 10 or 15 years, but right now, if I had to make the decision, I would say 4 more years. I enjoy the NBA, and, my own feelings, I think they can make some adjustments to benefit the fans and the players. I think TV's taken over way too much. I think we schedule our games around TV a lot now, and I think the fans are just sitting there waiting, and if they wait too long, they get out of the habit of yelling and screaming, and I think that takes away from the game of basketball.
Along with the long hours of practice Bird demands of himself, there are many more demands put on number 33. From the media to living up to what people expect off the court as well as on.
People tend to try to criticize everything you do, not just the press, but just the people in public. They don't. I think sometimes they think that you're God and you're supposed to do everything they ask and you're supposed to conduct yourself. Sometimes they tend to forget that you're human beings just like they are. I like to go out and have my fun. I like to do different things. I'm very easy to get along with. I just don't like people hovering around me and standing and gawking. I just like to be out and have fun just like everyone else. And sometimes I think that just the public don't understand that. And it can be a hassle sometimes.
Boston's probably even worse in that fact because they're such a sports-crazy town.
Well, they are in some ways, but they're also very good because they've been around it a lot, and most people tend to stay away. But usually there's 1 or 2 people that like to just hang around, and every time you move, they like to move with you.
Could you ever see yourself settling down here?
When I first come here, I said no way, but every year I tend to stick around a little bit longer. I enjoy to go home because my grandmother's there and she's getting old, my mother's getting older, and my brothers are growing up, and I like to hang around them as much as possible. But, if my family went back home, there's no question that I'd stay here. Right now, I don't know if I'm going to stay here or go there, but I definitely spend a lot of time in Boston.
When you go home, everybody still give you a hard time, just like you're, going to Spring Valley and not playing for the Celtics?
Well, they're a little different, they're starting to get used to it a little bit more. People tend to show up at my house day and night. It's a steady flow, but it's all the friends that I hung around with, and we have a good time. We sit around in the garage, 10 or 15 of us, and talk, not only basketball, but about everything. We usually meet at the lake and go fishing. We might have 6 or 7 boats of people, and we all fish and have tournaments, or we might meet at the park where we play softball or basketball, and it's a good enjoyment for me to go back home and just be around them people.
I think I have a great job, but you got to admit you probably have the best job in the world, don't you?
No question, because last week and during the whole week we was off six days there, and I played 32 minutes in 1 week, so I don't think anybody can beat that.
All right, there is a team within a team on this version of the Boston Celtics. The interrelationship between the players is more than matched by the good feeling among the 3 coaches on the bench. Peter Mahegan has this report.
All right, now DJ gets a hook pass over to Bird, slap pass back to Walton, back to Bird, now for me to Bird.
Oh, man!
Oh, what a great play! I could not believe that!
Team play personified. When you watch the Celtics play basketball, you're more likely to see some of this.
DJ from Bird, off to Parrish.
Rather than this. The Dominiques and Jordans of the game are truly spectacular in their own right, but you can't help feeling that they're just a little bit bigger than their own teams. The Celtics, though, have always counted on the sum of their parts in trying to fill the whole. Celtic teamwork, so evident among the players, actually starts at the top. Forgotten amidst most of the hoopla is the coaching staff, actually a team unto itself.
Well, Chris and Jimmy, I give them as much responsibility as I possibly can. Handling practices, pregame talks, and during timeouts, they have a full say, as long as I get my little 2 cents in.
Casey has a very good ear as far as the willingness to listen to his assistants. And what he expects us is not to be just yes men, to come up with some ideas to incorporate into his game plan.
It's unusual because Case really allows that type of freedom, and I think it's been very effective, and we have a tremendous amount of respect for one another, and I think that is something that carries over to our basketball team.
And just as important is a similar dialogue between the coaches and players, an enduring trait of the Celtic tradition.
The Celtic organization tries to treat the players all as human beings and adults and gives them a lot of responsibility. And KC is a great person to relate to players as human beings as well as just, you know, pieces of meat that have to go out there and play the game.
The coaching staff isn't hung up on specialization. All three do share in the daily routine. But for simplification, call Rogers the Celts' defensive coordinator.
Doing a good job on defense allows us the opportunity to run, the opportunity to get possession of the ball and do things at the offensive end. So we build on the defense, and it's commonly known we don't have a super quick basketball team. We don't have the type of team that matches up one-on-one defensively, so we put a great deal of emphasis on, of course, the team aspect of defense, and our players are very aware and very conscious of that and do a tremendous job of helping one another.
The Celtics have been working together and winning together for so long, it's easy to imagine the coach as no more than a figurehead. As one of the Chicago Bulls said, the Celtics are so good they can make an adjustment on the floor without calling a timeout. So does it really matter who's pulling the strings?
I think it always matters, you know, who's coaching, what type of an approach you take, and I think KC's approach has been extremely effective because he's taken a group of players who basically are expected to win. That is probably one of the toughest coaching jobs to do. When you're expected to win and still go out and produce over 60 to 65 wins a year.
The point is, they're superstars and they want to stay there, and they're smart, and that they know they have to improve.
And for the origin of that attitude, look to the man in Loge 1. Red Auerbach's presence is still very much felt.
I wouldn't have it no other way. He's a genius. He created this whole thing here, and if he were not on the court, I'd go out and grab him. I'd say, hey, Red, you got to be down here, because with his knowledge and his experience, then I'd be losing something if I did not take full advantage of it.
Well, you feel the presence of Red, but it's a good feeling, knowing that you have someone back there that you can always go, and it's like going to the library. You can always go back and get the book out, and Red always has the answers. And but he lets, you know, he has no say as far as the running of the team on the floor. It's KC's job, and KC runs the team, and you know, he's the captain of the ship.
Well, with this crew, Peter, there seems little chance of running aground. And to take the point a step further, the Celtics on the floor are most definitely an extension of the Celtics front office. If you are strong at the top, it's a fairly safe bet you'll be successful in any league. That most certainly has been the case with the Celtics over the years.
Boston Celtics.
The base of operation is on the 8th floor of 150 Causeway Street. The walls are smothered with reminders of titles conquered and chased.
Boston Celtics.
The popularity of this team has never been stronger. If you want season tickets, you must wait at least 7 years. The general manager started in the organization by selling season tickets. Save for Bill Fitch, the Celtics have always promoted from within. Loyalty is recognized and rewarded.
A lot of teams make mistakes in thinking that the grass is greener outside. Your office staff here is similar to a ball club. Develop your own, teach them. And that's what you got to do as a coach. Very often, we turn down deals where the player you're getting might have a little better percentage and ability than the one you're giving up. But the percentage is not worth the fact that you're giving up a kid of good chemistry, and you might get a kid that might be worried about playing time or statistics or whatever, and he might be self-oriented rather than team-oriented. So you try to work with your own people. Well, it's the same in the office. Most of the people we have here have been with us since they've been out of school.
There's no awe of being part of the Celtics organization, a part of whatever mystique may have built up. There's no effort on anybody's part here to try to justify being part of that. It's just something that's happened.
Red Auerbach sits in the president's chair, Jan Volk in the general manager's chair that once was Red's. Red speaks less often than he once did, but when he does speak, his staff listens.
You certainly don't say, Why don't you do it this way? We did it this way 10 years ago. See, that's what you got to avoid. The people are different. It's a different generation. To me, in sports, I've said this many times, every generation in sports is about 6 years. In life is considered 20 years. I feel every 6 years you got a different breed of cat. And the coach that's smart enough to conform with this change without being obvious about it and let it infiltrate gradually, he'll be successful.
Philosophically, I probably am very close in terms of how to run this place and how to react to situations. Stylistically, we're very different. We're just different people, and I wouldn't presume to be anywhere in anything like Red. I would fall very, very fast from grace because I can't do the things that he can do.
They work as a team, yet it is still Red who takes center stage. At the NBA draft lottery, it was Auerbach's touch that secured the number 2 slot.
Second pick goes to the Boston Celtics.
Now, although it was Red Auerbach who reached into the barrel and sat on the panel at the draft lottery in New York, it was the man who succeeded Red Auerbach who actually made the deal, Jan Volk.
You go with the best. He's the guy that's has had the luck in those situations before. You go with it, and you never look back. If it weren't for Red, it wouldn't make any difference what we were doing here. It's because of Red that all of us are here. Casey's here. I'm here. Everybody in the office is here. We've all been here and nurtured by Red's presence, and we certainly can't resent that. We're very pleased to be part of it.
The biggest order of business for Red, Jan Volk, and the front office right now, the NBA draft. The Celtics, as you know, pick second. Will it be Brad Daugherty, Chris Washburn, Len Bias, or William Bedford? Or will the Celtics trade that pick? Remember the deal that brought them Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish? Draft day is June 17th. Whoever the draft choice is, he'll have to learn fast. Team chemistry, not personal glory, pays off in Boston, and he'll have to know the name of the game here is one word.
Everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Bird is a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a word. Well, a bird, bird. The bird's a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a word. Well, a bird, bird. The bird's a word. Well, don't you know about the bird? Well, everybody knows that the bird is a word. Well, a bird, bird. The bird is a word. Well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word. Well, a bird.
We've heard from some of his family and neighbors in French Lick, Indiana. We've heard from the front office, Red Auerbach, Jan Volk. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the franchise itself. Few subjects in the history of sport have been more profoundly analyzed than the so-called Celtic mystique. But it could be that all of the heavy scrutinies have obscured the essential simplicity of the Celtic story. Clark Booth has more as he takes us back to the founding of the Celtic dynasty.
It is a city game, so its pantheon is fittingly a stern rectangular urban block. There is more to the Basketball Hall of Fame than just homage to the Celtics, but no team has ever dominated any game like they have theirs, so the Celtic influence is unmistakably pervasive. Imposing graphic montages speak to the point, but you have to search a tad for the definitive statement, a rather small, simple photo lost in the galaxy of such works, denoting the moment Walter Brown chose a brash, profane city boy named Arnold Auerbach to coach his team. The story goes that Brown hired Auerbach after consulting with a group of Boston sports writers over a round of coffee in a Greasy Spoon cafe. That's how high-powered it all was back then. Auerbach's attributes are properly legible.
Hey, y'all, give me 2 seconds. It's the first time I ever do it, but I got food cooking. Give me 2 seconds. Alright, we back. You know I can't let the food burn, so I had to, y'all.
and there are no statements that can add or detract from that. But it is worth considering that in addition to all of his other charms, he has been enormously lucky. Recall that he did everything to keep from being saddled with Bob Cousy. He called Cousy the local yokel when he got stuck with him in 1950. Graciously overlooking the insult, Cousy proceeded to save his franchise. A dozen years later, Auerbach lucked into yet another franchise player. It has been blithely forgotten, but in the '62 draft, Red was aiming for Boo Ellis, here seen being eaten alive by Bill Russell. When the Lakers snagged Ellis, one choice ahead of the Celtics, Auerbach reluctantly took John Havlicek. As Joe DiMaggio once artfully observed, it is better to be lucky than good, but it is even nicer to be both. Still, the genius of Auerbach's single most important move can never be denied. He alone perceived the potential worth of Bill Russell and conspired magnificently to secure him. Circumstances played into his hands, like the bankruptcy of the Rochester Royals, who had first dibs, and the racial climate of the time in St. Louis, which led the Hawks to conclude they could not sell the immortal Russell in their town. It is equally a property of genius to be about 5 years ahead of your peers. So it came to the spring of '57, April 13th to be exact, and for one who was there, the first championship will always remain the best. The double overtime 7th game win over the Hawks was one for the ages, with backcourt magicians Cousy and Bill Sharman shooting 5 for 40 from the floor, rookies Russell with 32 rebounds, and Tom Heinsohn with 37 points and 23 rebounds.
Yo, they was, I gotta do some Bill Russell, man. I know he's still almost like the top with the rings. How many he got? 7 or 8 or something like that? Yo, I gotta do some Bill Russell. Yo, he looked like a monster out there too, though. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. 32 rebounds, bro.
Pulled them through, though it has long been forgotten that the venerable Arnie Rison saved them by coming off the bench to score 16. They needed all of that to counter the Hawks' Bob Pettit, who had 39 points. Their last points came on some Jim Muscatov free throws. Then they survived one final hellacious scare as Pettit's desperation tip rolled off the rim at the buzzer. Thus was induced the very first of those joyous sprees that have become a cultural rite of spring in New England. Not every year, mind you, but every other one on the average isn't bad.
Tom Heinsohn.
As for the weavers of this inexhaustible legend, they have been assuming their niche, each in his turn, in that pleasant rectangular pantheon up in Springfield. This is Clark Booth reporting.
Well, the Celtics are only one series away from another NBA championship flag, but who will they play? Will it be the Houston Rockets or the Los Angeles Lakers? Well, we'll know more about the answer to that question as the week progresses. Houston and Los Angeles will play Wednesday night in Los Angeles, Friday night back in Houston, and then they'll wrap it up on Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles, but the Rockets only need one win. So the NBA championship final series will begin here in Boston either a week from tonight or a week from Thursday. It's been fun. I can just imagine what people in other towns that don't have championship teams do. For everybody on our Sports Center 5 team, I'm Mike Lynch. Good night.
Celtics 86 has been brought to you in part by Stop and Shop Supermarkets, proud sponsors of the Boston Celtics.
Good one right there, y'all. That was, oh man, it's like really inside of everything, yo. That was, Oh, that was a good one right there, man. I'm glad I did that video, man. I seen it and I said, oh, I gotta do this one. I totally forgot about this video, man. Hope y'all enjoyed it, man. Really hope y'all enjoyed it, man. And sorry I had to go walk off real quick, but I had my food cooking, so I had to, that's why y'all kind of keep looking a little bit. But yeah, man. So I had to turn off my air fryer anyway. But yeah, man, this is damn sure a good one right there, man. I definitely gotta try to do some Bill Russell videos. He said 32 rebounds, man. He looked like he was a beast out there too, though. That's the crazy part about it. Like, I know I gotta do some of his highlights. There's some more other highlights people I gotta do, but we definitely gonna keep covering this Larry Bird, man, and these Celtics, man. But it's just been an amazing, fun ride. I deeply, deeply appreciate all the love and support y'all been showing me, man. And yeah, that's about it, man. Y'all know I keep it short and sweet, and I'm on to the next video, man. If y'all got some videos you want me to react to, just let me know. And I damn sure, I will do it right away, man. But yeah, man, that's about it. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button. I'm out. Peace.